What's up, guys? It is currently Monday morning. Ha! I'm thankful that it is not Monday morning. It is Monday afternoon. And it's currently almost 12 o'clock, I think. Or it is 12 o'clock. I can't remember. But, I've got about 5 or 6 electricians standing next to my car right now, so fortunately for me, they get to also hear the vlog as much as you guys do, because I can hear every word they say, so there's no doubt that they won't be able to still hear every word I say. Which, I mean, I could give two shits about. If they don't like listening to my dentures, they cannot stand next to my car. But today is a big day for 2 reasons. Well, it's not really a big day for the second reason. But the first reason is this right here, this video that you are currently watching is my 300th video. Ooh, clap, 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 clap. Which, I mean, I know in the retrospect of most YouTubers, 300 videos really isn't like a ton, but surprisingly enough is quite a lot for a vlogger. Yeah, so this is 300. Now, in theory, I don't know if it says it for you guys, but I know it says it for me. I have 330 videos on YouTube, but there are currently 30 videos that are on YouTube, but they're private, they're not public. This is mainly because it's a video from my phone that maybe I was possibly scared of losing at some point, so I just sent it to YouTube, so it would always be there if I wanted to watch it. So it's not really something that I'm, maybe it's more personal or stuff like that. And then sometimes some stuff gets posted to YouTube early and sit there and wait, so that way if, for some reason I couldn't get a vlog out today or something like that, I'd still have a video that I could possibly upload or turn to public. So there'll be content still out on a daily basis. My phone is falling, if you can obviously tell. But I'm actually going to speak with you about dentures today. Not to say that I don't talk about dentures at least once a day at some point, but so I was talking to a guy who also has dentures. I was actually talking about credit cards, and that was just more of a segue that led us into talking more about dentures. But pretty much is how it goes down, and I will start you from the beginning. Well, not really the beginning, because that would be a really long time ago, but let's start back about a year and a half ago, when Matt had to get dentures, and I had to think about how I was going to pay for these dentures, being as I don't really have, I have a okay job, being as I've been here for 5 years, but I don't really make shit compared to most people who work places for 5 years, so I definitely didn't have enough to afford dentures. And on top of that, I don't know how much anybody knows about dentures, but you, surprisingly enough, are not allowed to pay in payments like you could on a hospital bill or something like that. It's because evidently dentures and teeth work are one of those things that people think I'll just have them go through and take them out, and then I just won't pay them or something. I'm not swearing that's what everybody does, but that's kind of the thing I got from it. So they make you pay all of it up front, and maybe to some rich millionaire, or even somebody just has some good fucking money, it's probably no big deal to throw $14,000 at somebody and be like, yeah, here you go, I have it. But in my life, and the life I've grown up with, money is not really always the issue, but at the same time, it's not really something that I could easily throw 13, 14 grand away and just be like, yeah, take it, that's mine, here, I've had this sitting here. So I started looking at getting a credit card. Now there's two things to look at when you were doing when this was going down. There's this there's this thing, it's called Care Credit, and it's a credit card that you get through denture or through like dentists and stuff like that. And pretty much what it does is it's just a credit card that you would get a certain balance for, and that card would then pay for your surgery, and then you would just pay the credit card company back until it was done. But obviously after interest and everything, mine was going to be like 19 grand, which is a lot of interest, like $5,000 for a 4-year loan on $13,000, which, if you do the math, is a ridiculous fucking percentage rate of fucking, paying back, or paying the extra. So, I wasn't going to try that if I didn't have to, but I was also looking into getting a regular credit card. Now, I was 24, I just turned 24. So 23 and a half to 24, and I applied for credit cards. Now, I didn't get my license till I was 21, so I didn't have like a car payment when I was younger. And I've lived with my parents still, even though it's not really something that I like to tell people, but I do. I'm 25, I still live with my family. So, I didn't really have history of payments and credit and stuff like that, so they rejected me on every credit card that I applied for, and they also rejected me on that Care Credit because of not having any proof of payment in my 23 some years of my life. So right before I had my surgery, the way I did it was my parents ended up covering the cost, and then I just owed them back. That way I don't pay $5,000 extra in interest, and then also that way I could get the surgery done, since I needed it done like now, and I couldn't really wait to collect $13,000 to then be like, okay, now let's get this done. So I'm not sure what all these electricians did, but so pretty much what I did is, it was actually really cool, a really great thought in my eyes. Don't get me wrong, I honestly didn't get this from anybody. I thought of this on my own. I saw a credit card company for Capital One, credit card commercial for Capital One, and they were talking about people who have really bad credit and they need to dig themselves out of a hole, that you could get this credit card that was built for people who have terrible credit to rebuild your credit and have it come up back to being like good. So I'm like, all right, cool, and so I applied for that one, and they came back and they were like, you don't have bad credit. And then I told them on the phone, I was like, look, I don't have good credit. I don't have any credit, and so it was like, that's almost as bad as having bad credit. And I was like, so, I sit here and say, hey, I don't have any credit, and you say I have bad credit, but if I say, hey, give me a credit card, you say no because you don't have any credit. So I was like, so give me the credit card for people who have bad credit, so I can build credit up to be able to then have a real credit card. So that's what they did. They said that was completely fine, sent me the credit card for the card that was technically for people who had bad credit and needed to rebuild. And I did that for a year, and then it's just been probably 2 months now, and I've had a real credit card now for about 2 months. So I've built my credit up enough that they were like, okay, yes, now we will apply you for a regular credit card. But so I was explaining this to this guy because he was just he knew about the fact that it was a really hard and difficult time for me to try to be finding a credit card back in the day. And so he was asking me, when he saw me pull out my credit card and pay for it, he said, oh, so I see you finally got yourself a credit card. So I was telling him all about that. Well, then after I got done telling him about that, he said that he went and purchased his dentures with a credit card himself. And he didn't do that Care Credit thing. He did like a real credit card. And so this is now actually what is bringing me around to what I want to actually talk about, is that upon what he has told me, and then just from what I could assume from throwing it all together myself, you gotta, if you gotta get them, just get them however you can. Don't really use this as a, oh, well, this guy says I shouldn't, so I'm not going to. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to get to. But I also have to say, if you have any other way of possibly affording dentures, just cranked my heater on if you wonder why the noise is just kicked up. But if you have any other way of paying for dentures besides using a credit card, I'd highly, highly, highly suggest it. Because his dentures were almost the same price as mine. I think they were a little bit more because of some other work that he had to get done to his jaw when he was in surgery. But all around, it was like 14 grand for him. So he paid that. And he got his actually technically way before I got mine, so it's not like we're both evenly going through this together. Like, you know, he's pretty much paid his off all the way now. But it's the fact of, as of this last weekend, he had paid a total of $21,000 to this credit card company because of how much interest they charged him on top of, you know, already being in debt due to the fact of, you know, surgery. They need all the money up front. So I told him that, you know, I'd like to vlog and, you know, post videos on YouTube about my journey with my dentures, and, you know, so that way if possibly anybody else out there has to do the same thing or is going through the same thing, you know, somebody else can possibly look back and, you know, watch my videos and be like, okay, you know, now it's literally been 6 months. It's been over 6 months, but it's been about 6 months now. And so, you know, now you can see where I'm at after 6 months after having my mouth ripped out. So, yeah, just do whatever you can. Do your best at figuring out all your, you know, possibilities of where you could possibly pick up, you know, money from places. There's actually like organizations, kind of like credit or college will give you like whatever financial aid. I don't know for a fact, so don't judge me upon this, but I was told myself that there is things out there that you can get onto, and what they'll do is which is why it probably ends up like this. The only reason I didn't do it is because I was already rushed in the sense of trying to get them done, so it wasn't really like I had a whole lot of time to look up all the basics. But I had learned that, like, what they'll do is they'll get you like they'll take you to like a college, and they'll have a you know, like a student that's about to graduate do the surgery on your mouth, if, you know, they're obviously graduating to do oral surgery, and you know, so shit like that. And, you know, so that way technically you're taking like a quote-unquote risk because it's by somebody who technically doesn't do it like professionally. They're learning in school, but at the same time they're about to graduate, and they're obviously not going to give you to somebody that is probably not going to, you know, do well. You know, they're obviously going to give you to the highest person in the class if you really did it, just so that way they would have some more practice. But then on top of that, you know, you could get your mouth done cheaper. And like I said, I don't know exact prices, but I was told that, you know, most times they'll knock multiple $1,000s off. Like, say, like $4 grand, I would have only had to pay 10 instead of 14 because I let a student do my surgery instead of like going to the actual place and doing it. So, I mean, it's really up to you. I would have trusted them, to be completely honest, because I know that they're going to school for that, and I know the school's not going to give you somebody that's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but let's give this a shot. Like, you know, they're going to give it to the person who obviously knows what the fuck they're doing with the surgery and teeth like that. But like I said, just because of the whole rushing of everything and trying to get done and get my mouth done, I didn't really have the time to do a lot of research and be like, oh, let's try this or let's do this. And so I just had to spend the money and go. So that's pretty much what this all comes down to. You know, do your research, figure out, you know, where and what best prices, because, you know, some places will give you dentures for cheaper. Mine was actually, surprisingly enough, the cheapest around, and it just happened to be that's where I was going anyway. So it wasn't really another thing, like I never looked up like, oh man, where's the cheapest place to get dentures? You know, it was just lucked out. I looked up a couple places around my hometown. Where I go to get my dentures made and stuff like that is about 25 minutes northwest of, or east of me. So, you know, it's like, I drive way out of the way, but at the same time, they actually end up doing the best work and the cheapest. So it works out to be the best in the long run. And also, if it does come down to it, use a credit card, because you'd much rather have the work be done and not suffer with the pain than to do it, you know. But also try not to use a credit card so you don't end up spending a crap ton in interest. But hey guys, I'm gonna go. It's been like 15 minutes. You can see me, I'm keep staring at the time like, holy shit, no one's ever gonna watch 15-minute vlog. So I'll see you later. This is 300. That's why it was so long. I made a long video for number 300. Ching! Hit that like button for me, guys. Do it for me, please. Just let me know that, you know, whatever I'm saying is actually going through people's ears that want to be heard, and I'm not just talking for my own sake, pretty much. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good day, evening, night, morning, whatever time you're watching this. You better enjoy it. If you don't, I'm gonna be mad. And yeah, I can't really think of anything else because it's already been really long. And guess what? I finally called about my appointment to my denture people, but I didn't schedule an appointment because I'm a failure. Guess what? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. And I love you. I really do. I really love you. If it wasn't for all of you guys here, I wouldn't have 300 videos. Peace out. 16 minutes. Peace.